Hello, my name is Nathan Roberts, and I am dead. It wasn't anything too brutal. Just one day I was biking and a car was coming in. I don't remember much more that happened than that. Just that I was dead at a mere 11 years of age. It felt as if I had been knocked out by whatever happiness or feeling I first got was much like waking up. I was in a strange place like nowhere I had ever been, like no place I'd ever seen. It was just a road where the only direction was straight. Everything else was in all-consuming blackness. I did the only thing I could do. I walked. I walked and I walked until I came to a building. I hadn't seen it in the dark before, as the building was black as the night itself. It had no windows, but it had a strangely welcoming feel to it, as if it would guide me through this desolate wasteland. Inside was a man. He was the most normal man I had ever seen, with normal blue eyes, normal black hair of normal length and a normal height and weight. His eyes were kind and hard, eyes that you knew would help you, but will offer no forgiveness shall you fail. I politely asked him where I was, why I was there, and if he can help me. To all these questions, he simply replied, yes. I asked him what he meant, and he said, I can help you, but you must first run an errand for me. This is not purely for my benefit, though. It will give you what you want as well. I was still confused how I asked him what I wanted, and he chuckled and said, why, in life, of course. You are dead. This is the land of the dead. But if you do me this errand for me, you will be granted a second life. I asked him what the errand was, and he explained, I was sending to the surface. While you are there, you may ask whoever, and as many people as you like, if they will donate 1 minute of their life to you, so you may live for at least you will live 1 minute more. This still seemed very beneficial to me, and I wholeheartedly agreed. When you were done, he said, just say the word done, and you will return here, and I will bestow upon you the minutes you received. And just like that, I was back on the surface. I was slightly transparent and looked much like an angel or other Bennigan creature, but definitely not of the land of the living. Then I started asking. I asked for a very long time, months, maybe years, but I finally said done. I was back in the man's room. He congratulated me and said I had acquired 2,380,263,005 minutes of life. He told me that I would now be sent back to the surface to live out the rest of my life. Also, he added, you may ask more people for a minute of their lives as you come closer to your final judgment. I asked him, suddenly a little afraid what that meant. He explained that it was what happens to all that all fall into his grasp. Suddenly understanding began to dawn on me. I had made a deal with the devil, and not only had I sealed my own fate, but I brought everyone I asked for 1 minute closer to theirs too. He smiled at my understanding. A cruel silt has been forced into the shape of a crescent. Enjoy your new life, Nathan, he said, smoothly as he faded out of existence. I woke up. I was in the hospital. My body was wrecked with pain. I looked down at my body and saw people I did not recognize crying over my broken body. Blood-soaked bandages draped over my body. It looked as if I had gone through a human meat grinder and somehow made it out, but barely. I was dying again and I knew it. This wasn't supposed to happen. I had just started my new life and already it was ending. It couldn't be though. I still had time left. I was very confused and then I died again. I woke up. I was in the alley strolling around. It appeared to be very late at night. I walked through the alley very quickly, only to be pulled back by the collar of my shirt. I turned around and came face to face with a small rat-like man with a mane of hair that looked as if it had been never washed. He pulled a gun on me and asked for my money. I told him I didn't have any. He shoved the gun into my stomach and I began frantic. I started screaming for help. He noted what attracted much attention, and he blew my guts out. I was dead for a third time. I awoke again, this time on the cliff face. It seemed all my deaths had happened shortly after I awoke. It was like a dream where you are violently transported from one fake reality to another. The only difference was that this wasn't a dream. It was real. My watch read 9:48 a.m. Our group had started climbing up the cliff face. I felt terrified of heights even though I never had before. In my panic, I did not harness myself and slipped. I fell down the mountain. When I stopped, I knew I was beyond repair. I made a Herculean effort to move my arm to face. The watch read 9:49 a.m. Exactly 1 minute. Yet again I awoke. This time I was strapped down to a flat table. My limbs were slick with liquid, but I was blindfolded and could not see. Finally the blindfolded was yanked from my face. I saw him. I saw the man in the black building. He was smiling, but the smile was too wide. It was as if his face was just one big smile. "Don't you see?" he asked. "See what?" I replied on the verge of panic. He cackled. "You made a deal with me. Don't you know who I am? I am Satan, and you will live in a torment that is just silver better than what I deal out. And that is because of one reason. It is finite. My wrath is eternal, and you will feel it soon enough." "Why?" I plead. "I am not crying." "To teach you a lesson," he explained, "that the world is a cruel place. Nobody just gives out gifts. Charity is a lie. They knew. Every single person you ask knew what minute of their lives they would give you." Then it hit me. It was so gut-wrenchingly depressing that I just wanted to curl up in a ball, but I couldn't. I was destined to live the last minute of 2,380,263,005 people's lives. To suffer 2,380,263,005 deaths. And when it was all over, I was to live in eternal torment. But I can run. I can try to run forever. I can collect minutes from people, and people are always being born. Please help me, I beg you. I only ask for a small donation. Just 1 minute.